Kia ora.
Hey, how's it going, everyone?
Welcome to Cup of Tea and a Yarn. I'm Jill, also known as Tea and a Yarn on Instagram and Ravelry.
And I'm Kylie, also known as Crafty Mama on Instagram and Ravelry as well.
So we could have been together this week. I mean, Auckland's come out of the full-on lockdown, although I think we would have had to sit 2 metres apart.
1 metre apart.
1 metre apart, which might have been bad for the screen. It would have been a big white screen. Getting us both in.
Yep.
So we thought we'd do this, and we're going to change it a little bit. So rather than talk to you this week about what we're making and what we've made and that sort of thing, we thought we'd do a my favourite things kind of theme. And we've chosen to talk about our most favourite shawls. And we've chosen 5 because Kylie said that's a good round number. I don't know why 5's a round number. So yeah, we thought we'd share with you our current favourite top 5 shawls. I mean, I don't know about you, Kylie, but mine change. It's just because it's top 5 today doesn't mean it's top 5 tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm with you there, and it often my most favourite shawl is the one I've just finished. Is that? Yeah, and I find when you've just finished one, it's like, you know, a new pair of shoes and you want to wear it everywhere, and it's often just hanging around the house, and it's the one you'll grab to wear around the house as well for me, and it's often the one my daughter will pick up to wear as well, because she's all skin and bones, unlike me, and she gets quite cold when we have the air conditioning on, so she likes to have a shawl as well. So I'll kick us off.
Yes.
We sort of thought of 5 categories to talk about. So an obvious one to talk about is our most worn shawl, and I actually really struggled with this. I kind of narrowed it down from about 5, and they were all Stephen West shawls. As Jill mentioned last time, I love Stephen West, and you'll see a lot of Stephen West today. But my most worn shawl, and this is quite surprising for me, is this is called Building Blocks by Stephen West. I might have to move back a bit. So this shawl was a mystery knit along, I should have looked up the year. I want to say 2017, I'm probably wrong, but yes, this is a mystery shawl, and it's so well worn that it actually has holes. It's got holes from children playing with it, and because, as I said, if it's a well-worn shawl, it hangs about the house. And look, I've actually got a run, and I can totally fix it, but I kind of see it as a little feature. So anyway, so I love this one. It's enormous. It's like 2 meters in length. It's probably even longer than that. So if I fold it in half and show you, that's folded in half, and it's my full arm's length. But what I really love about it is this is how I wear it. So I do that with it, and it actually like hangs all the way down to my knees, which I don't know, I just love. And I think it's possibly the colours in it. It just seems to match everything. I did wear this a lot the first year I was teaching, when I was a teacher. And I think it just matched everything in my wardrobe, but it just really matches everything, despite that it doesn't match what I'm wearing now. But I've knitted it out of hedgehog fibres sock. There's 4 colours in it, and it's got sections of just stripes, and then it's got sections of like, let me take it off, it's really hot here. Ugh.
That's easy to show.
Yeah. Sections of brioche and stripes as well, and then sections of like stockingette in different directions, and yeah, it's just a really cool shawl. And as I said, I'm pretty sure that I wear it most because of the colours. So I don't know why that's just become something in my wardrobe that I wear. So, yeah. What about you, Jill? What's your most worn shawl at the moment?
At the moment, I think actually always, and it's called the Simple Shawl, and it really is a simple shawl. It's just a triangle. Just let's hear it's by Jane Hunter. It's a free pattern on Ravelry, and that's it.
Is that just one skein, Jill?
It's about 1.5.
Okay.
Could have gone bigger, but I got bored.
Yep.
It's the yarn is Kiwi Yarna from Christchurch Merino, and I loved the colours in here. It kind of reminded me of like heather on the moors and a kind of, I don't know, lavender and all kind of very English garden-y. And I tried to make a few things with it, and I don't know, nothing worked, but this I love. And it's just got a little picot edging.
Yep.
Increasing in the middle and in the middle and at the end, so it's like double increasing. So it's a kind of a more shallow, like kind of long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting that both of the shawls we've chosen are quite shallow shawls.
Yeah. I suppose it doesn't get cold enough here in the Bay Plenty to wear like a full-on warm clothes for more than like 2 days of the year. It's quite nice to have something. I mean, it's just 4-ply, so it's quite light, and yeah, I really like the colours, and that's what it's. And I don't know if it goes with anything, but I wear it, and I would like to wear it in the office, and it's just like one of those. Oh, I just like throw it on, and it just like now with my black dress, it'll pop a colour, but yeah, that's it.
Oh, that's good. No, it's do you wear a lot of shawls around the office then? Because of the air conditioning?
Air conditioning. Yes, definitely.
I find I don't wear shawls in summer, except on like a cooler night. It is a nice thing to have on a cool night, but in winter, when I have to walk from the car park to the office, it's quite a long walk and I get quite cold. So the shawl, it actually means I don't have to take a jacket.
1 moment. You had one on the other day when I saw you. The other Saturday.
Ah, it was cold. It was a cold morning. Yeah. You're right. That was, I actually have that one. Oh, it's over there. It doesn't matter. But yeah, that, I guess that's the morning, evening thing in summer and spring. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. You called me out.
I put the spotlight back on you. You're
okay.
You're up again.
All right, so let's move on to most sentimental. And I have one shawl design, but I actually have 2 shawls for this one. And this is why it's my most sentimental shawl. I'll show you the actual most sentimental shawl. This is really hard. I have to sit all the way back. This is a shawl that when I left Melbourne, my friends in the knitting shop that I went to made this for me, and they all knitted on it, and I actually recognise a lot of the yarns from projects that they had done. It was all leftovers, and I really like bright colours, and I'm pretty sure that was the brief, just pick bright, crazy colours. They've added the tassels. I'm not a tassel person, but I haven't taken them off because that's what they've done. And this is actually something I wear like this because I usually wear it when I need a hug. And so this is something I wear around the house, and sometimes I'll like do the old-fashioned tie up at the back thing so that I can work with it. But the pattern is actually called the Adventurous Wrap. It's by Amber O'Brien, which is an Australian designer. This is half of the Adventurous Wrap. So that's a triangle, but the actual adventurous wrap is a parallelogram, which is just two triangles together, done together with a 3-needle bind off in the middle.
Mm.
And I knitted that the previous Christmas, which was, I thought I wrote it down, 2018, out of some Squiggle Yarn Company, which is a South Australian based dyer. It was a 25-day advent calendar kit. So that was all minis. So yeah.
This is like your whole Aussie shawl thing going on here.
This is a real Aussie shawl, yeah, because it's all Aussie yarn and it's an Aussie designer, you're right. And Amber is a lovely lady. If you ever get to meet her, I met her a couple of times at Bendigo, at the big Aussie sheep and wool show. But so these are both my most sentimental, because whenever I wear this one, I instantly think of this one. But this one has just become one I just wear around the house when I need a hug. Mm. So, yeah. How about you? What's your most sentimental, Jan? Oh my goodness, I called you Jan.
Well, I know that your friends in Australia had given you a shawl. My friends in Papakura also gave me a shawl, but I didn't want to be the same.
Because it would have been the same shawl, actually.
Yeah, different colours.
Yeah.
But yes, I agree, and it's one of my favourites. Yeah. I've chosen to show for my sentimental one, this one, which is it's a nobody designer. It's just an asymmetrical plain shawl. Mm. The yarns are my first set of minis I ever bought, and they're, I don't know if you can see, but they've got like little bits of glitter in them.
Yes, I can see the sparkle.
Yeah, a little sparkle. Mm. They're orange tail yarns, which is a New Zealand dyer who no longer dyes. So yeah, and I bought them at my second Cairn in Napier, and then I finished it off with here's my link to you here, some Bendigo sock yarn, just to make it a little bit bigger. Why I chose as my sentimental one was I started knitting it when I was in hospital, so and then I finished it over recovery from some surgery, and yeah, so it means a lot to me that, you know, I went through all that and I came out the other end in almost one piece, some bits missing, but the bits we don't really need, so that was quite good. Yeah, so that's what that one is, and it's just total garter stitch, and it's yeah, just a really plain asymmetrical one. Also, quite proud of the way I kind of smudged the colours.
Yep.
And so it's got some stripes of the last one into the next one, and then it goes into like the full-on colour before it stripes into the next one. Like marling? I don't know.
Marling, yeah.
Yeah.
No, marling is where you hold two together. That's fading.
Fading. Yeah, so it's my fading shawl. So it's a couple of years old. I do wear it a lot, although I don't know what it is. I love orange, but orange doesn't love me. And so I do tend to buy lots of orangey things, but it doesn't like me, but I can put a bit of grey up there just to break it up a bit if I want to. But again, it's quite, you know, just shallow triangle, nothing fancy about it. When I knit it, and I do quite like the yarns, the sparkle yarns, which made me happy at a time when, you know, you needed to be reminded that you know, had lots to live for and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Without being too morbid.
Yeah. I think we forget that that shawls don't have to be really fancy or anything. You know, there's all these designs out there, but it's really is quite an accessible thing to knit that.
Yeah, the first thing I
There's so
knitted
many
was the
free
hitchhiker.
shawls. The hitchhiker, yeah.
Yeah, that was my first knit ever.
Yep.
Yeah, and I was going to bring that as my my sentimental one because first knit, but I couldn't find it. It was in some quite kind of really ugly sock yarn. It was.
Oh.
I was very proud of it.
I've had the hitchhiker on my to knit list for so many years. I've never knit it, but I do have. I've knitted the Lefty, which is another Martina Bam pattern. I've knitted that twice now because my daughter loved it so much she had to have her own, and I too wanted to bring that one along today to show everyone, but I couldn't find it. Possible my daughter has stolen it.
I quite like it because she makes all of the like Hitchhiker Guide to the Galaxy theme ones, which is my favorite book.
My son just started reading that book.
So cool. If you want an audio book from the library, it's the best one because it's actually Douglas Adams that's doing the narrating.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I do like an author-read book.
Yeah.
Right, moving on.
Oh,
most technical.
1 minute. Let me pop you in the spotlight.
That's okay. So, most technical. Now, this is a serious, amazing shawl. I've only got one of these because it took me quite a long time. I had lots of breaks, etc. This is a full lace shawl. It's a square. It's not a traditional triangle. I will have to stand up for this one. And it is magnificent. I don't think I'm tooting my own horn by saying that. It's I've actually won. I won knitter of. What was it? Knitter. It was at a show anyway, like an AMP show. I won like the most outstanding knitter with this shawl, and yeah, it's amazing. I do tend to wear it as a triangle, believe it or not, though. It actually folds beautifully because of that spine across the middle. It actually folds perfectly, and I wear it as a and it's become my go-to shawl for when I go to a wedding because I have a gorgeous purple dress that I wear with it. So yeah, that's pretty much the only time I wear it. Sorry about having to move around there. But the pattern is called Montego by Sherry McEwen. Her design name is Knitting on the Border. That's easy to remember. But yeah, if you want a little challenge for a lace knit, yeah, she has some really amazing designs. The yarn is Sweet Georgia Merino silk lace, so it's also like the softest thing. I feel like this is the sort of thing that you used to knit for babies.
Yeah.
It's a real like heirloom sort of piece, and you know, it's something I will pass on to my daughter, and when she has babies, if and when that happens, yeah, for the baby to spit up on, yeah. Which is why I only wear it to weddings. But yeah, I really, really do love that. I did have it on our bed for a while as like a piece, but I think that was before children. I can't remember. Yeah, what's your most technical shawl, Jill?
Well, I'm going to, as I hang my head in shame next to that one, because it wasn't. But for me, it was very technical.
Yeah, I've been knitting a lot longer, okay? Just full disclaimer.
And what can I tell you about this? It's the Mixtape shawl from Poison Girls. The reason I've chosen it as one of my technical was because I bought the pattern because I looked about how cool it looked. It had like 3 skeins of yarn, which is like, oh my God, that's enormous. And I didn't understand a lot of the instructions. So, but so I on my projects, I've called it the B-side. So this is my Mixtape B-side. I've used, actually some of the, for me, the technical bits. It has bobbles.
Yeah. See, I don't knit bobbles. Bobbles are like something I don't knit.
And it's got lots of drop stitches as well. So it's my first go at drop stitches, and it's got some kind of lacy bit there as well. The yarn is, let's see, these two I think are just like kind of, so the green one and this lavender one are just sock yarns. One of them I know is a paint box socks, and I think that's the kind of lavendery one. The other one is either opal or what's the other one that we get here?
Regia.
Regia. And the
Oh, so it's actually a sock,
yeah,
like a gradient sock yarn. Interesting.
it's just a stripy sock.
Yeah, right.
Green, yeah. And then the purple is my darn knits from darn knits. It's a merino, so the purple and green together. These three, because it was kind of early on in my knitting, we thought like this is pre trying to do jerseys and socks kind of thing. So I bought the sock yarn thinking, oh, that's cool. I want to know how to do socks without actually knowing how to do socks. So I didn't really know what to do with them. And they sat in my stash for about 6 or 7 months, which for me is quite a long time. So I usually go, ooh, and I pick them and off I go. Either that or I fall out with them and I don't use them for years. So yeah, the 6-month mark is kind of a cutoff. So that's why it's called another reason it's called the B-side, because it was like sock yarn that I didn't know what else to do with, so I've made it into this. But I really, really like it. And like your one, it's enormous.
Yeah.
It's wrapped around and I'm still like, yeah. I was unsure even how to wear it for a while, just because it was so big, you know, the biggest one I've had. Yeah, but yeah.
If you're ever not sure how to wear a shawl, make sure you check out Stephen West's How to Wear a Shawl.
He's just done another one I saw today.
Oh, I'll be checking that out.
Isn't it just like, you're wearing a shawl?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, back to you.
All right, next category is the most proud of. So which shawl are you most proud of? And surprisingly, it's not that lacy shawl. And I think that was sort of what I was trying to say to you, that I have been knitting for a long time, and something I do in my knitting is I like to actually challenge myself with almost every knit and learn something new, and because that's the only way you grow. But it doesn't have to be difficult either. So my shawl that I'm most proud of is a very simple dotted rays, again, Stephen West. But this was my first shawl that I knit out of hand spun. And it's actually my only shawl knit out of hand spun. And this whole project, from getting the fibre to like wearing it around my neck, took me 3 weeks, I think.
Wow.
I was so excited. This was when I just started spinning like properly with you guys, and I was just so excited. I got this radiant set from Jane, and I hope she doesn't mind me saying her name. I should really check that sort of stuff. But I got this gradient set and I spun it up, and I was so proud of it. And I knitted it straight away. So, yeah.
That's so cool. Is it soft?
It's crazy soft, and it's just merino. It's actually felted a little bit, I've just noticed, but it's probably one of my most difficult to wear shawls. So this is one of those, I don't really know how to wear it. I think
the same problem with the dotted rays, yeah.
Yeah, I think it needs a pin there, and I think I have worn it with a pin. Yeah. I would love to get one of those cuffs. Have you seen those leather cuffs? Yeah, I think I need one of them. I haven't actually seen one. I could probably sew one.
You probably could.
Yeah, it won't be leather, but
You can buy leather at Spotlight.
no, I don't really.
You don't do leather.
I don't do leather. Yeah.
I'm so impressed that it's your hand spun there, because I've got one with hand spun. It's not my proudest, because even though it was hand spun and I've knitted it, actually I've done a couple in my hand spun. The first two were so overspun that it's wearing rope.
Yeah, this was not my first hand spun. This was my first hand spun with proper instruction, if that makes sense. So I'd been spinning for a little bit and figured out what was good and what was bad, what worked, what didn't work. And this was probably my first spun on my wheel, which was gifted to me from someone in my Melbourne group. So that's sort of, it's not my first, but it's early.
I feel better.
Oh yeah. No, not my first hand spun. No. Yeah. No, my first hand spun is it hasn't been knitted.
Okay, so my most proud of, and I think I'm most proud of it because it took me a long time to get going on this. Then I kind of made it up a bit, and like I've actually smudged three patterns into one. So this is this one, which is I've probably recently shown you because it's quite a recent finish for me. It's really long and thin, and I'm proud of it because it's a rainbow. And I got the whole rainbow in from start to finish. The patterns are, there's we were talking about the lady just before.
Martina Ben.
What's that?
Martina Ben.
That's it. So it's two of hers and then one of someone else's. So it's the Baltic Summer, which is one that I've wanted to do for ages and I've always loved, and I've tried casting on so many times and getting lost with the zigzags. But with my recent foray into zigzag, I've got that down now. So starts there as the Baltic Summer. Then I got to here and I was bored with the zigzags, so I stopped. And it went into the Hitchhiker. So from here, I think I used the Hitchhiker as a guide.
Yep.
But then it hasn't got spikes on. Oh, yes, it does have spikes on here. Spikes on that end. There we go.
Oh, yep.
Spikes. And then there's Smash and Poonie is a shawl pattern. It's a free one on Ravelry. I'm sorry, I can't remember the name of the lady, but it's a really cool shawl and it has I-cord on both ends of it, like as you knit I-cord along it, which is
applied I-cord.
Yeah, and then at the end it's got this little lacy thing. So I just stuck that little lacy thing at the end of the pattern.
That's one of my favourite shawls that you've knitted. I love that one. But I'm a rainbow girl, so that's probably it.
Yeah, and it hasn't been cold enough to wear it yet. I'm busting to wear it, but it's cold enough. The yarns are a bit of a mixture. There is some leftover of some merino that I dyed at Dye Day in Auckland. There's also that red, I don't know where that came from. And I think this pink as well is another Dye Day leftover. The purple is some leftovers that I think was from Kiwiana, some merino. I also used it in my jersey, the pink one with the stripes on, that was Poison Girls pattern, the Joni boat neck. The rest of them are a set of mini skeins I got from the three Irish girls.
Ah.
Yeah, so I initially got the rainbow set from them,
Mm.
and it was like the first time I ordered yarn from overseas. So it came a long way, and I got a mini skein set. So I was initially going to make something else with them, and I did, but I felt like it didn't do what I wanted it to do, and I wouldn't have worn what I made with it. So I frogged it and started again with this. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
I think I'm proud of it because I mashed it up and it kind of worked, and I did the gradienting thing, through the rainbow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've just looked up the pattern for you, that last one.
Oh, Smash and Poonie.
Smash and Poonie, not Smashing Poonie. That's what I heard. I heard Smashing Poonie. That's by Waterview Knits.
Right, cool.
Yep. And it is a free pattern, and it is a cool pattern.
I think she did it for the rainbow community as well. Like it was part of it. And you can also make it for your dog. She did a baby version for your dog.
Of course. Because why not?
Yeah.
I did like that about the most recent West Knits knit along. The first part of it everyone started sharing it on their dogs and cats. Because it actually, that first little section was the perfect size for a little, what do they call them that you put on dogs?
A kerchief, isn't it?
A kerchief. It was like a kerchief for a dog. Okay, so the last one that we're going to do is just because one. And all the most fun. And I've chosen another West Knits. I know that's a huge shock, but I've chosen Texture Time by West Knits. It wasn't the most fun to knit, I'll be quite honest, but it's become a favourite and it's very fun to wear. It's again enormous. The colours are fun. It's got brioche. That's brioche with crazy amounts of just shaping and whatnot. These are Latvian braids, which if you ever see that in a pattern, run for the hills, because it is one of the most time-consuming things I've ever done, but I love it on it. It's got kid silk lace. That's kid silk lace. Oh, it's all hedgehog too. It's got these little bits at the end that look like little kitty paws or dog paws.
Yeah.
The paw prints. And it's got the other really crazy fun thing about it is these bits hanging off. So that's actually all the ends.
Wow.
And
you have to sew them in.
Didn't have to sew the ends in, thank goodness for that, because that's a lot of ends, and that's only half you're seeing too, half are on the inside as well. So it was a lot of ends, and he did tell us to leave them 6 to 12 inches long, 8 inches I think it might have been. And we just spun them, twisted them and then folded them on itself and then knotted it. So it's a really cool technique. He's got a video as to how to do it if you're interested in doing it. But it's just a really fun shawl. It's another crazy big one. I wear it like this. This is this is how you wear a shawl sort of deal. You can wear this anyway. I do sometimes wear this off the shoulder a bit, like that. But yeah, this replaces a jumper. This is that big. It's 5 skeins of yarn.
Wow.
Yeah.
So did you say it wasn't fun? Is it because of all the different sections and then you had to repeat it on the other side?
Yeah.
Is it time consuming stuff?
Yep. So because this was a mystery knit and I didn't know what I was knitting, I think it starts here, and I knit down and I didn't understand that we were doing those circle bits.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't understand that it's actually I think it's like a woven brioche, so you do 2 on one side, then 2 popping up on the other. I thought I was doing it wrong. I did the first bit. I spent 3 days doing the first little bit in the first the first bit, clue, that's what it's called, and it really put me behind, and that frustrated me. But once I figured that out, I just knit the whole thing and it's beautiful and I love it. And then you move on to the Latvian braids and you do want to poke your eyes out by the time you finish 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 Latvian braids. And then it's just miles of wavy knitting. And so I actually got to the end of that and threw it away. I didn't throw it away. It went in the naughty corner. And it wasn't until, so that was 2019. November 2019, October, November, and we moved to, no, 2018 it must have been, and then we moved to New Zealand in 2019, and it actually got packed, like half done, and I pulled it out when I got here, and I said, right, I'm going to finish this now, and it was my first finished object in New Zealand, so.
Cool.
Yeah. But no, it wasn't fun to knit, yeah. There's actually another section that I didn't do. There's it's an optional extra border down the bottom, which I actually really love the look of it, but I cannot bear to pick it up and do it. It's done.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Because I think if you make yourself do something, then you don't like it at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or only knit for fun.
Yeah.
To enjoy it, eh?
So I have a bittersweet relationship with that shawl. Yeah. What about you? What's your last shawl you want to share?
My last one is a Stephen West shawl.
Yay! And it's one I haven't done.
So this is I've actually done this one twice. So
oh wow!
Yeah, the Vertices New Night. Ta-da!
It's beautiful.
I made it. The first one I made in different blues, and I just size, because you can make this in 2 different sizes. And my friend, I didn't wear it very often. I met my friend for lunch the day I was wearing it, like the second time. She was, "Oh, I really love your shawl. There you go." So I gave it to her.
Wow.
And so then I quite like the whole makeup of it. So I knit it again, but I didn't make the small and I didn't make the large. I made it like 1.5.
Yep.
So I thought the large was just too big. What I like about the shawl is it's so quick to make, like in comparison with what you just talked about.
Is it really quite a quick shawl?
Really quick. Like the first one, the small one I made within a week.
Wow.
Section each day. It was like, yeah. Like you start on one bit and then you add another bit and then you add another bit. The hardest bit is actually choosing what colours you want to put. So my yarns here, I know 2 of them. I know that the yellow is a Kiwi Yarna one, or the gold, whatever. And I know that this one is a Lynn from Fibre to Go Merino. And that's all I know. And the orange I know I bought at Woolfest, so it's a New Zealand indie dyer somewhere. And I'm not sure about that different coloured one, but it's somebody I bought here. it's a New Zealand indie dyer as well, but I had caked it up and I think I'd used it for other things and lost the tag when I used it after I pulled it all apart.
I have a suggestion for that, so that doesn't happen again. When you make the cake, put the tag in the middle.
Oh yeah, I do that, but then
you do that? Oh, good.
Yeah, because I tried it, I was making something with it.
Oh, and like did you use the whole lot and then?
Yeah, and then I thought, no, I didn't like it, so I'm very good at pulling it all out. I don't know what the creamy whitey bit is. That's something else as well. Who knows? Yeah, but it's I love making the shawl. I've made 2 shawls twice, so this is the ones I've made twice. The other one is a Truly Myrtle one that I've made twice. It's both as gifts, so I can't show those. But yeah.
That one of my girlfriends made that when she had her second baby as a baby shawl. She made the big one as like a baby blanket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does have a blanket now.
Ah.
His new night blanket, I think, or the blanket or a shanklet. Shanklet? Shawl. You know, the
shawl blanket, shanklet.
Yeah. What I liked about my first time I did this was it was the first time I picked up stitches. That was, you know, quite exciting. It was my first time doing I-cord as well. So the second...
Did you have to I-cord around the whole thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
How long did that take?
Well, not too long, because I mean, it's not a really enormous shawl.
Okay.
It's only, you know, probably about, I don't know, if I do that, there's only that much left. So it's not really enormous. And I don't mind doing that. Just noticed a big knot on the back. There we go.
As long as it's on the back, it doesn't matter.
That's right. No, I didn't mind doing that I-cord. I don't mind doing I-cord like that.
Right.
I feel a lot of gratification seeing how clean it makes the edges.
It is a very clean edge, and I think that's why Stephen uses it so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I know that a lot of people don't like it. It is time consuming. You especially if you're doing it for a bind off. It takes you 3 times as long as a normal bind off.
Yeah, because you do everything 3 times.
But it looks 3 times prettier.
That's right. Exactly. I mean, it's like the little picot as well, you know.
Yeah, it's the same sort of thing.
But it's, you know, it takes a long time because you have to add extra stitches.
And are you knitting a shawl at the moment, Jill?
I am knitting a Stephen West shawl.
Yay!
So I'm knitting painting waves. So I've shown this one before, and I have actually this week I've done 4 waves. I'm on to section 3 now. Means it's just starting my 3rd wave. So you see how there's 2 waves there? Yep. Section 1 finished, then section 2, and then another section. And I guess it just keeps doing that.
Yeah.
Just adds waves on it. And I'm using my...
is that your advent calendar one?
Yeah, my advent calendar. This is black. I can't read my writing. Black Forest yarn, which is a New Zealand dyer, and I got this as a gift from my lovely group in Papakura, who gave me a lovely basket of things a couple of years ago when I was going through some chopping out stuff. This one came to the hospital and was gifted to me in hospital, which was really, really special. So thank you. One of the Janes.
Right.
So yeah, Black Forest yarn, so it's like 200 grams one there, so that was like enormous. So I'm using that for the main colour. And then yeah, I'm just using all my, not all of them, but 9 of my mini skeins that I got for Christmas.
Yeah. And are you randomly doing it, or is it in order?
Yeah, I started off and just used them all, and then I'm just randomly picking them out and just making sure that they all get used the same amount of times, really. Yeah. So yeah, kind of random. I'm trying not to have like dark ones together and light ones together, but otherwise, yeah. And I think it kind of looks like a stained glass window.
It reminds me of a Monet.
Oh, there we go. It's a Monet.
It reminds me of his watercolors, water lilies, I think it is. Water
lilies, yeah.
Yeah.
Or blues, yeah.
Yeah.
I do like it, and I like the shape of it. It's an asymmetrical triangle, and oh look, there's one of those applied I-cords as well.
Yep.
Which is great for hiding your ends.
Yeah.
Really good for hiding it.
You can carry them up, eh?
Carry them up and just like thread them through, get the crochet hook. Suck them up. And then if they pop out, just like give it a pull and pop back in. Cool. And what about you, Carly? Are you making any shawls at the moment?
Well, I know I said last episode I wasn't going to make any, but I also said I had a bunch of I'm not sure if I said it or not, but I do have a bunch of skeins of yarn that I've got set aside for projects. So I actually started on one of those projects, and it is a ginormous project. It is the Find Your Fade by Andrea Mowry. And I'm up to the second colour.
Nice.
I'm actually doing it in the original colours. I have another, okay, I have a bit of a thing with Hedgehog and Stephen West. So they're my two things. But that's what it looks like. And I'm doing it in those colours.
Nice.
And I've just realised when talking to you now that they're almost the same colour palette as that, and I wonder if that's why I'm drawn to it.
Yeah.
But no, I'm really excited to be actually knitting it now, and yeah, I'm onto the second colour. It's very simple. It's just a double decrease in the middle and yarn overs at the edge and little bits of little lacy bits and fade bits, and it's very simple. I started this because I'm going to be doing March Madness next month, which is a sock madness group that I do. I still have not qualified yet, but you're meant to, you knit socks. You get the patterns provided to you, and you have to knit a pair of socks within a certain time frame to qualify for the next level. And it's this whole thing, but I still have never qualified because I don't knit them fast enough. So it's a bit of a challenge for me, but
cool.
I thought I need something simple to be knitting in March.
Nice.
Yep.
And I'm doing Fluff to Stuff.
Oh.
Which is, yeah, so who was it? The podcast lady, Expat, Knitting Expat, is it?
Yep. Knitting Expat, yep.
Yeah, so her and a couple of other of her friends are hosting it. And the idea is that you spin intentionally to make something, like with a pattern in mind.
That's amazing.
I can't do that, obviously, because I don't plan that far ahead. But it's spinning. And you were saying about the shawls.
Oh, yes. So another reason I started this shawl was because Marina, who is Strawberry Patches in Auckland Creative Fibre, she started a hashtag shawl some love cowl with, it was a cast on Valentine's Day to knit some shawls. So
that's a cowl, not a cowl.
Cowl, K-A-L, knit.
When you said cowl before, I thought you meant like a cowl.
Oh, cowl. Cowl.
Cowl.
I don't pronunciate. So yes, that's part of that cowl. 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 Knit along. It's part of that knit along. But my husband has commented that when I hold it a certain way, that it resembles
a bikini.
Yes, it's more of a mankini sort of. Yeah, very Borat. Anyway.
Excellent.
Guess what he's getting for Christmas?
And you're done, and there you are.
Oh, dear me. Right.
Cool. I think I quite enjoyed doing that, and I hope that people watching enjoyed it too.
Yeah, I found it actually really fun to go through my shawls, to be honest, and I actually pulled them all out of the cubby and folded up the ones I wasn't going to be talking about, so they're all nice in there. So it was. I
didn't. I pulled mine out of the cubby and then shoved the other ones back in.
That's okay. Well, now I'll have to fold up all of these and the cubby's almost full, so I don't know where they're going to go. But
I
that
guess,
can be a problem for tomorrow, Kylie.
yeah. Next time we'll maybe show what we've done for the Kiwi Summer Cacao.
Yep, I'm working on something very, very special.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
And we might see how everyone else is going, and we might even wrap that up and yeah, we'll have a look and see anyway.
See how we go. Yeah, summer's nearly done.
So hopefully, yeah. I'll put all of the links to all of the patterns that we've talked about today in the Cup of Tea and a Yarn, www.cupofteandyarn.com. And if you look at the podcast notes, I put all of the links in there. And thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll see you next time. Kaki day.
See ya.